unintelligent, this guy.
Okay.
Omaida.
Hey, he defeated Sosuke Aizen.
Yes. Warning, this Bleach podcast features many spoilers from the upcoming anime arc 1,000 Year Blood War. So if you've not read the manga or you do not want to hear spoilers for the upcoming arc, viewer discretion is advised.
What is up? Welcome to Bleach Boys, YouTube's only Bleach Rewatch podcast. This week we did episode 285 to 291, which is 7 episodes, and we get the death of Tousen. The visors start to get fucked up.
Oh, they were already
we
getting
get to
fucked.
visit the Lamp Society.
Yeah, the 10-year anniversary.
Wow. And,
that wasn't a bad one.
I don't think so either. And I think that's it. That's kind of all that happens. There's a lot more in between stuff. Yami's popping off, you know, Byakuya.
We get Shinji's 30 seconds of wow.
So I think they'll probably come back. So I saw they kept doing that, and I bet they come back like when they're gonna finish that fight. So I would imagine, let's say next episode. I don't know what's actually no, because Ichigo shows up.
Yeah, he's
I was
here
gonna
already.
say I bet they go back and like read that whole fight in like a recap thing, and they kind of show you it as a consecutive. But Ichigo shows up. So
unless this is the end of the season,
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Wow.
Okay. Well, you know, first of all, I just want to say there was a moment that I thought was really good that relates to the 1,000 Year Blood War arc that I really liked. So Yammy is fucking everybody up. Fucks up Rukia, fucks up Renji, fucks up Chad, which is not really that big of a
it's a normal thing.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Byakuya and Kenpachi show up, which is super fucking cool.
Yep.
And we'll talk more about that, but Byakuya does his Byakuya thing where he doesn't want to tell Ichigo, like, yo, go do this. He has to, like, make it some, like, no, you're not needed here. Go fuck off somewhere. So he says to go do your job, and a Soul Reaper captain would never ask for help from the likes of you. You know? It's like they would never need it. So I don't know if you guys remember in 1,000 Year Blood War arc, Byakuya gets fucked on by, I think his name's like Asnot or something like that. It's German, so I tried my best. And he gets fucked up, and when Ichigo shows up, Byakuya is the first one that he sees, and Byakuya's like near death, like about to die.
He's almost dying.
And he asks him to please do what I cannot and save Soul Society, and that's why he runs off to go help everybody out.
Okay.
So I really like that part. I was like, when he said that, and I only know because I played through that quest in Bleach Brave Souls, so that's why I still remember that part, and I was like, damn, I like that. I like that a lot.
I also, because he has a conversation with Hiyori where he's like, oh, that's interesting. You believe in Ichigo too. And Mayuri's
I do like that.
I don't know what you're talking about. These are lies and blasphemy.
I told him to just go on ahead. I simply wanted to do research.
Everybody is so much of a tsundere that they don't want to admit that they like Ichigo, but it's like everybody likes Ichigo.
Yeah.
I don't know why. He's fucking atrocious sometimes.
One of the only people who actually admit they do like Ichigo is the Vizards.
Yeah, they straight up support him.
Ichigo simps.
Yeah, they were. They're like, we don't understand
Shinji
it.
does
We
say
just,
that
we
when he enters, he's like, the only person we support is Ichigo Kurosaki.
And he's also, Shinji gets mad respect in my mind for being the only person to see somebody get injured and immediately think of Orihime.
The
only fucking person
only smart
ever to immediately go, we'll just wait for fucking Orihime to run by.
It's almost like he was a captain and he's what a captain should be.
He's the captain, but now he's got like, so he was like the intelligence build, okay? But then he got kicked out to the wisdom build, and now he's emerged. He's got like the street level smarts. He's got the captain
video
level
games.
smarts, and he's like really now he's even better for it.
I do. I still am. I stand him. I really stand
you really like Shinji a lot, yeah.
He's great.
He's cool.
He's
cool.
Great.
I know the scene's coming up where he fucks with Aizen. He's doing the spinny move, and I'm just sitting there. I'm like, I cannot wait till that happens because it's just such a cool. I know it's discount Aizen.
So we had this talk before, and I think was it on the podcast we were having this talk
like
where you were like, oh, Shinji's power is just as good as Aizen.
It could be.
Aizen fucking shits down his throat
immediately.
He's like minus complete hypnosis. All 5 senses are under my control.
So in the last series of us watching, we were all watching. It's like, oh, cool, the Vizards are here. They're about to get stomped the fuck on.
Yeah.
And they kind of they do get their asses handed to them. They're not like a perfect win, but a lot of them kind of they don't die.
Yeah.
Hachi's the only one that kind of gets actual damage.
Well, Mashiro.
She not until this
smacked
series.
in the face. Oh yeah.
Yeah, she gets messed up now, but like for the most part, they kind of skirt through. Fucking Shinji just comes in. He's like, I can do what you can do, Aizen, and then gets cut in the back. It's like, oh fuck, what? Like, oh shit, you got me.
I imagine his technique most of the time is like, oh well, people just literally can't figure it out, so it's like free game. Like,
but he tossed it all out there.
Yeah, well, they all fucking do that.
That's anime.
All do
anime.
that. It's like, here's how my power works, and it's like, yo, dog, this part of your power should be not telling what your power does.
I like how he's like, literally the entire time you were my lieutenant, I never showed you my Shikai because I didn't trust you.
Wait, he was his lieutenant?
Aizen was
yeah.
And he was just like, hey, by the way, now that I'm going to fuck you up, remember how you're like the fucking god right now?
Yep.
We're going to do this, and I'm going to tell you everything you need to know. Like, what? It doesn't make sense.
It's just
like,
an anime
it's just an anime thing.
It's purely just an anime thing, and it's like
they do it just because they have to explain the power.
I'm fine with that, but I want it to be like get a couple moves in, and Aizen's like, "What the literal fuck is happening?"
Yeah.
Like that would have been awesome.
He did kind of use that information to his advantage at one point where he was like, "Oh, well, like everything's reversed," and then so Aizen thought he had it figured out, and he was like, "Oh, you forgot." It's like also all of your reflexes are all fucked. So it's like the fact you have to basically to double check your reflexes is gonna fuck you, and it's like you didn't figure. So he basically gave him like here's the general information. Like, oh, I forgot to give you this very specific information.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Kiraku.
So yeah, he kind of did give him he kind of did take advantage of that, but then he was kind of like, oh, no one can figure out how to do that.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, well, he literally just got done self-proclaiming himself a god.
Yeah.
So I would hope we remember that, Shinji, please.
So I'm curious, can Aizen control his own senses?
I would imagine.
That would be
Right?
Yeah,
I would say so.
What
I
if
would
he
say
was
so.
just like, I see everything straight?
You know what? It
and-
makes sense though. It's like, what if he got mortally wounded and he's like, I don't want to feel this pain, so I can keep going.
Oh.
Yeah, surely like what you're saying is he could just like override Shinji's. Like, let's say for some whatever reason.
It's on top of the stack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's never seen a shit guy before. He's like, oh, okay, boom.
Oh,
It's
shit,
like,
that's what it looks
yeah,
like.
it's like, cool, nice.
Oh, I
And then he's
fixed
out of
myself.
it. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like, oh, he's all good.
Yeah.
Because it's like I don't understand also. So like Unohana is very in the know. So we get this scene of Unohana basically explaining to Ichigo, which is a double bullshit scene I'm going to talk about because Unohana basically explains Aizen's power to Ichigo. The fact that basically everybody except for Ichigo has seen his powers, which is untrue because Orihime chatted.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, you're really relying on them.
I'm just saying we know Uryu gets much stronger.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just saying there's other options out there. All right, and then we get the clarification. Well, first of all, I just want to follow through. Shinji has clearly seen it, and I would assume that means Shinji. Well, actually, no, because we already knew this information that Aizen lied about what his powers did.
Yes.
So that he said it had to do with like flowing water, and it used the reflections of the water to trick people into attacking their own comrades.
To create optical illusions,
Yes.
I think.
Yeah.
And so Unohana explains that, but Unohana only figured out what the true power was when she caught him rebelling, and that's when she figured out. So then Shinji doesn't know what the actual power is. So I forgive Shinji for being a dumbass.
Good point.
That
but
makes sense.
That being said, he does get told that his power is complete hypnosis before the fight begins. So I will dock him half a point for being a dumbass.
I mean, he's just cocky at that point, though.
I think he was the most like don't do anything rash. Like he will fucking.
He was very level-headed, to be fair. But then he too got swept up in it after Hiyori got dicked on.
I mean, and she should have been cut in half.
Oh God, yeah, that was lame censorship.
Yeah, we got atrocious censorship in this one, where they basically show you all the parts of her getting torn in half, except for her getting torn in half.
Yeah.
And then she's just got a little wound. Like,
Yeah,
ooh.
and it's like you could tell, like they do the Gin slice, they show her clothes getting ripped in two,
Yep.
but then they fade out and she's just falling, and her sword is just right next to her.
And she only got stabbed over.
So they basically go up to the part where she should be split in two, and they're like,
No, that might be a little
could've-
too much. Yeah.
I feel like they could have done a lot more with it's like they don't show her bottom half, and then you see her bottom half in a different location. Like I'm cool with the censorship. I get the whole thing. Don't change.
I just think the big part, and this is coming complete from memory, so correct me in the comments if I'm completely wrong. It was like being shown during like a kids block, like it was like literally
I'm
like
pretty sure it
prime
was.
time for kids.
I think it was Toonami.
Well, no, I mean like in Japan.
Oh, in
like
Japan.
they're not giving a fuck about Toonami.
Yeah.
Like in Japan, they had to deal a lot with.
You're right,
The
'cause
kids
So
block.
I guess kids are just real fucked up because they just see Soul Reapers get bashed by a giant Susanoo and then have their arm go like re-snap back
yeah,
into
it's weird
place.
where they draw the lines. It's clearly
We've talked about this before, though, where it's like I forget what we were talking, which podcast it was, but we talked about how it's like you could show someone killing like a monster but not a human kind of thing.
Yeah, but
Yeah, it
I
seems
mean,
like for this, it's like they draw the line at excessive blood.
I think
where they
so.
seem to.
I feel like excessive blood is when his arm snapped back into fucking.
But there wasn't
place.
any blood.
There
like-
was some blood.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah,
not
but
excessive.
So they could have, but again,
I'm saying like literally seeing blood splurt out from somebody because they also didn't cut off Uryu's hand.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking they
Yeah.
don't want to show like the blood like coming
Gushing
out of this
out
other
or
one. Like
anything
they
like that.
clearly have something
But-
against doing a fucking like straight cut through, but then it's like they did that multiple times to Yammy. So it's like,
but he's a monster. I was just gonna counter with that same thing. I was like, oh, that's so stupid.
Yeah,
I feel like someone in the comment section already told us why, though.
It has something to do with slicing off anything of a human's.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
But Yammy looks like
human. Mutilation is probably just not.
But he
a
gets
no-go.
a lot lobbed off. They're like, hey, we won't be able to cut Hiyori in half, but you know what we're gonna do?
He merged those 18 legs into his Buddha form.
Also, he's got straight up like 18 vaginas underneath him. That fucking scene where Rukia is running under him, it's just a vagina.
Ruki? Yeah, Ruki fucking now. But wait, before we go into Lamb Society or anything like that, I have second gripe with Unohana.
Okay.
So we find out that apparently Ichigo's spiritual pressure, spiritual energy, whatever we want to call it, is tied to how much clothes his Bankai has.
I forgot about that. And
he had to explain that.
He explained it, but I don't remember him explaining it in the manga way back.
So, and then he decides to shit on her lieutenant as well, basically going, oh, well, when Orihime healed me, she healed all of my clothes. But then when Isane did it, she said she couldn't do it.
I would like to speak with her manager.
But
so
Orihime is God.
Well, also, it's like, so I don't understand the timeline on this, where it's like, first of all, that whole his energy being tied to his clothes is bullshit because the clothes gets blown off and shit. It's like, it's stupid. That just because the clothes gets blown off doesn't mean he suddenly lost half of his spirit.
It's like Dragon Ball Z, the longer your hair.
Yeah. And then secondly, when did Isane heal him?
I don't remember because and we talked about it when in the Noatra's fight.
Yes.
He gets hit and Orihime's the one that heals him, correct?
Yeah. Yes. I don't understand where Isane came in to this either.
Wonder if it's from the Soul Society.
There might have literally been so what I'm thinking is there might have literally been a brief moment where he got healed before going into the Garganta. And that might have happened, like, I don't know, did you just assume that happened before?
Yeah.
But that still doesn't make sense because when he came down the pillar
he had
to
half the
save
cloak.
Rukia, he already had half the clothes missing.
Yeah.
So when Orihime healed him, clearly it didn't fucking fix his goddamn shirt.
And I also like how they're like, oh, wow, he's at half power. But he was able to fucking cut up Yammy.
Yes.
He was able to do, like, Hollow Mask. Well, that was the first reveal of the new Hollow Mask, too.
Oh, that's right. Cool. I do remember.
And that was the first time it was, like, officially acknowledged, like, oh, for sure his mask is changing.
Yeah. It was one of those things like, is it?
Yeah.
Is it? Because
I remember the first time it was for sure acknowledged.
I still love those Rukia Ichigo moments.
Do you think that was the game plan from the very beginning? Or it was like, ooh, I might have accidentally misdrawn that? Yeah, this is just changing.
If it was
how many people has he killed? Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. If it's a misdraw, I'm totally happy because I like the idea.
It was a good recovery.
Yeah.
It was a good.
Dude, I'm serious. Like, they just keep moving the fucking what's the sizing guy? They move him to different keeps and he keeps fucking up, and they're like, keep with that.
We saw that with Kenpachi versus Yammy. Remember how fucking huge Kenpachi looked at one point?
Yeah, that and then
I
Lisa's
didn't see it too
weapon.
bad with Kenpachi. But
Lisa's weapon, dude.
Yeah,
she's like a fucking 42
but
meter pile.
I think that weapon is supposed to be like gigantic.
It's like a pike.
I know it's supposed to be big, but not like like bigger than Ikaku's.
Well, it's the same thing, except hers has added shit on the ends of it. Of course, it's gonna be bigger than that.
It's just lame. I don't get it. My boy is just getting fucking.
Josh hates Lisa. Ichigo's slandering Isane. I just don't understand what's going on.
I just don't know why Ikaku's
getting
fucking disrespected.
I like almost all the visors except for Love and the other guy.
Rose.
Yeah, they're terrible.
Yeah, like they're by far the worst. And also, my memory of like the timeline of events and stuff that's happening, I'm surprised at how long Kinsei stuck around. In my mind, I thought he got instantly glacked. Like,
I thought that too. I thought that Wonder Wise just came back.
And obviously, we read the manga for like, I mean, all of these parts really. Mm-hmm. So it's like it could be just like a manga thing where it's like it probably did happen very quickly. In the manga.
I think they might have fluffed the fight or something.
I thought that happened so quick, and he's still kicking around.
Yeah.
You know what? Because at one point, what was her? I forget her name. Mashiro. Is that really her name?
Yeah, Mashiro.
Oh my god.
Because she goes Mashiro kick.
Thanks, guys. Yeah. They didn't explain because she can do what, the 15 hours of holification, which is just flexing hard on everyone else.
But that was known already. Like when Ichigo was training, they already said like, yo, yeah, she could do it for basically fucking forever.
That's insane.
That's cool. That's like when Goku starts training to be Super Saiyan and he just holds the form forever.
Yeah, but see, they kind of explained that, and I guess I don't remember those episodes. We didn't really watch them together, but. They don't explain why her shit just fades. Like, we're assuming Wonder Wise.
That's why I was wondering. Because,
it was one of those convenient moments.
Well, they do make it seem like, I don't know, possibly Wonder Wise said something because she was surprised. You would know yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think it's going to come as a surprise unless you're Ichigo and you're just going full power all the time. You're not paying attention. Yeah. Where it's like someone, as a trained, I would assume as a visored, would be able to tell when their mask is gonna go off. So because she was surprised, she's like, "What?"
Yeah, she was. Yeah,
like, what
she
happened?
did look shocked.
And
she should have known
totally
when they started
fine.
drawing her eye. Like they only had the left eye being drawn.
At one point, they do the left eye, just like, what the fuck? And it's like, oh, they gotta show emotion.
Yeah.
It's like the Spider-Man problem. It's like they
oh
gotta
yeah,
show
that's
the
right,
mask.
Toby.
Yeah.
But like, I want to know, and is that going to happen to Kensei now? Is he going to get his powers absorbed? Because he goes straight Bankai right off the fucking bat.
So, from my memory, like, and that's why I always thought, like, he gets glacked really instantly, because we saw a preview for an episode, and they show him going Bankai. I'm like, oh, that means he's going to get fucked soon. Because in my mind, he goes Bankai and gets almost instantly dunked
I think that's technically how it works, right?
He does not last very long. And from, like, pulling from memory as well, it's like, oh, Wonder Rice is literally there to counter Head Captain Yamamoto. And it's like, oh, that must happen pretty quickly when the And it's like, no, they're fucking hanging around forever.
Yeah,
it's like,
it's some
fucking hell.
stupid shit.
And obviously, like, you weren't complaining, but you pointed it out. Like, you didn't, like, they're bouncing around a lot. Like, they like to do this thing where they're like, oh, we're going to do this fight. Oh, we're bouncing back this one. And then they'll kind of settle on one. But then they'll keep showing you, like, a couple minutes of another fight. Just be like, hey, just so you guys remember, this fight is still going on.
It's just the pacing's a little off is all.
Yeah, it gets weird when that happens, where it's like they really need to basically set up all the fights and then just solely show this one. Because it breaks it.
What I would really like, so there's a part they do at the intro where it's Yamamoto, Aizen, and Shinji, and they do the fucking turnaround thing. If they could be having like one battle at a time, but in the background you see like fucking Komamura fucking fighting and stuff.
Well, I imagine that's be just very difficult to animate. You know, they already had the Hachi and the Shuhei fight, so they're probably running a bit low on
It might
budget.
be a little.
Yeah, they see that shit going on in the background.
And it's like, I don't know if you guys noticed, but also like the Komamura. I know, Jose, you asked. Whenever they were doing a big sweeping shot with the Komamura and the Tousen fight, the big guy was there.
Yeah, he was never there.
And it's like they would do almost a full 360 at one point, and it's like he was just never there.
Yeah, it's just like, is he just like flying?
So I imagine that's just very difficult to like do to have shit going on in the background. So
do you
like,
think he can turn it on or off? Because remember,
I have to imagine that's the case. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense, the positioning, him getting blown back. I have to imagine he could basically summon it places and like do it. Otherwise, it just makes no sense.
Because Tousen was like fucking, he was doing the proper technique, just fucking fight Komamura.
And Komamura's Bankai, like, I mean, at this point, 110%, if somebody can prove me wrong, I would love to hear it, is the worst Bankai. There's not a singular Bankai that is worse than that.
I guess.
It is the fact there's two plot holes to it. One, that it moves in synchronization to what he does.
Yeah.
If he could somehow, like, I don't know, like if he was like, hey, I've been tricking you guys this whole time, I can actually set delays to it or something.
Oh,
where
that'd
it's
be
like,
great.
Where it's
like fucking,
I could build up
Ukitake.
attacks.
Yeah, that would be really
where
sick.
it's like, oh, I knew you were going to step there. I planned for my guy to be there and slash you in the fucking head.
Yeah.
Where that's a good one. And then another one is that the fact that he takes damage off of his own Bankai. It's the only Bankai that's like that.
But I would also argue I would prefer, like, if we're going full destruction, like I'm literally sending him as a siege tank. Like that's all he's worth.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably choose him over Soifon.
No. You're wrong. You're absolutely wrong.
I'm with Sam on this one. I would take Soifon.
Here's my explanation.
Are we only literally? Now I have to ask a very specific question.
Yes, we're just sieging.
Okay, well, I understand that. That wasn't going to be my question.
Okay.
Are we literally only factoring in their Bankai? Because the moment you factor in Soifon Shikai and her speed, she's infinitely better.
I agree with that. We don't even know if Komamura has a Shikai. I know you said he does like some weird ghost shit.
He does like a phantom where he just summons the hand part of it.
It reminds me of like early Susanoo.
Yeah, I'm cool with that if that's Shikai, but I'm almost 100% sure he does not have one.
Okay,
like,
yeah, sure.
But if we're going like, I want to blow, like if he got sent to Las Noches just to fucking cleave the temple, I would be like,
he'd be
dead. He's going by himself.
Oh God, no, come on.
He'd be dead.
Come on, I'm just
He's not that great.
Okay, so he's just part of your team, but you're using him as the tank busting part of it.
He goes in. He's my Iron Giant.
He's still gonna die real quick.
And he dies after. Then the fucking B team goes in, and they're actually better than that team. What I'm saying is Soifon just fucking glacks in one area.
So I'm gonna tell you why you're wrong
here.
here.
Pushed back.
I'm gonna tell you why you're wrong here. So you're basically sending in a tank, right?
A smart tank.
Okay, yeah, you're sending in a smart tank. Meanwhile, I'll be sitting on the back line firing off missiles.
Nuclear. She can fire two.
She can fire as many as she fucking wants. She's sitting back there.
Yeah.
I'll have her and Unohana on my team, and they could just fuck each other off over there and just fire nonstop.
You gotta have a Hachi putting up the fucking shield.
I'll have one team going up front, and then they'll just be fucking goddamn missiles raining down. Meanwhile, you have a fucking walking casualty machine that just needs to be fucking hit. What if somebody cuts off its foot? Like, what are you gonna do?
They ain't gonna do it because he's just going like this.
Like Yammy's in there.
Yeah, Yammy's in there. He can hold it.
Yammy, I don't.
So,
he is a
so
joke.
Yammy will hold him down, and then the rest of the espadas will Gran Rey Zero.
Yep.
They didn't see it coming.
Or once again, let me point out, Xyloparo just crushes the organs of the thing, and then what are we gonna do? Nothing.
I see.
It's like
I see.
Mr. Control's nerves.
This is my
controls nerves, takes it over, and then it's fucked. Like,
so what I'm saying is we don't do Las Noches, we just do Soul Society, and he just swipes that.
Oh my god! But then you have
he
Captain
just fucks up
Yamamoto.
Karakura Town. He just goes around and fucking swipes Karakura
his
Town.
is just awful. It's so bad.
It's a cool design.
There's not
it's
a
just
worse
like,
Bankai than his. There's not.
The practicalities of it is just not that great.
If he didn't take damage from his Bankai,
I would
it
say
be still
he needs
pretty
to
good?
not take damage off of it, and he also needs to not attack simultaneously.
I feel like
because it puts him in a shitty spot. Like when Tousen was fighting him, and Tousen was fighting him, we were all like, "What the fuck is this Bankai?" He literally can't use the Bankai and the sword at the same time. So it's like if he starts getting attacked, I think it's the only Bankai that's like that.
Yeah.
Where if he's fucked.
I would say because there's the part when the Four Pillars fight, the greatest fights we've ever watched.
Yes.
When he fights the fucking frog dude, he doesn't move. He just kind of stands there, and his Bankai does all the work, right?
See, so I think that he can
I wonder if it's like a
control
Zenron Sakura thing where he's like, the more I control it, the faster and better, more accurate
Well, then
it is.
okay. Well, we're talking about him at his peak, and he didn't do that at all this fight.
Yeah. Also, like he was getting stomped on by regular visored Tousen, right?
which is badass. He looks
Like,
dope
yeah,
as
well,
fuck.
it's just. I think that's just his regular like a Rancor form is what
he
that
was way
yeah.
better.
He
Yeah,
basically
was.
puts the mask on.
And then he goes to fucking bug form, and it's like, hey, let's talk about our feelings rather than actually be good
Well,
at
it's because
fighting.
he was able to see now.
Okay, so now we're shitting on Tousen.
Okay. I'm sorry. I just.
Well, it seemed like you were in the middle of making a point, and you're like, oh, well, actually, Tousen.
I'm trying to
is
get off the hill
really
I was going to die on.
So yeah, Tousen, he does not like. I don't know.
It's a bad showing for
It's
him.
an awful showing for him, and like you were saying, he basically shows like at one point Komamura's like, oh, you're gonna go Bankai? He's like, nah, fuck that. It's like I'm gonna go fucking hollow form. Watch this shit. And then he goes into this cool, like I forgot even existed, this fly looking hollow form.
Right? He's got the mask. And
Yeah.
he's got like the
Flowing
cool
perfectly.
shoulder
Yes.
pads and everything.
He looked real cool, and he started fucking up both of them.
He
Like,
should've just stayed there.
absolutely both of them.
Like, it was actually accurate to how strong he was already
Yes.
acting. Like,
I like when he stabbed Shuei right in the gut and then just kicks him off.
And then I'm
like,
sure part of the reasoning was that they constantly harp on where it's like, oh, you're weaker now that you can actually see. And I'm
Yeah.
sure that's part of what they were trying to show. But when he went into his resurrection form, he was so much weaker.
Yeah. He was fighting Komamura without Bankai. He was just like, let me hit him. And Komamura's just like,
Komamura roasted him at one point, and it's like, dude, you were so much harder to hit, so much more agile, so much stronger. This fucking dumbass, I don't know what form you want to call that, like what animal.
It was
a-
grasshopper, locust.
like
it looked like a
some
moth.
sort of
Bug.
bullshit
Yeah.
was awful, and it looked ridiculous.
Yeah. It was just bad. And then for Shuei, I still think this is the greatest fucking execution. Sam hates the
I
Wabiske.
like it.
Did
I
you
like this
remember that?
execution.
What?
Him doing the release of his
Yes, I
shit?
remember
We all
that.
remember
And you
that.
don't have a gripe with that over Wabiske?
No,
I
don't
think
know.
this one was
'Cause here's
tastefully
the,
done.
Here's the problem. Tousen was not on the ground begging for his goddamn life.
Okay.
Okay.
I should have known you were going to have a very logical reaction because you're like, okay, here's what my fucking... you normally
The
get
other guy
very
had
mad.
given up and please stop. It's like, I don't want to do it anymore. We're good.
Yeah.
And he's like, warriors shouldn't beg for their life on battle or whatever, and then just fucking cut his neck off.
Yeah.
Where meanwhile, they were like, Tousen, we're going to kill you to stop you from doing something really horrible. We're sorry.
Yeah.
And then they fucking did it.
But
and like
it was
Tousen was still
so
not giving
good.
up. He was still trying to be a horrible guy to the end. They tried everything they fucking could.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Izuru won hands down.
Yeah.
Hands down
Yeah, he
won the
did.
fight. Like it wasn't even a fucking problem.
Yeah, it was kind of a steamroll.
Yes. And then he was like, I'm going to kill you. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, you know what? His logic could be later on, and he never used
I will
it.
be starting
no.
a bullies club, and it will be Izuru and Kyoraku at the moment. So
Ooh.
I will add more to that
Fuck
list
yeah,
as we
fuck
go on.
Kyoraku.
Are we going to put Aizen in there? Are we going to put Aizen in there?
No,
Aizen's
Aizen's
I would
never a
also put
bully.
Tousen in there because he was rude to Komamura.
Ooh,
You're
was.
way
right.
uglier
So
than I thought you
So
were.
he
ugly.
ended.
Yeah.
He ended up changing that, by the way, because he did say that up front, and then he was like, "Oh, were you mad that I said that?" And he was like, no. He's like, oh yeah, I said that because I remember you being mad about people calling you that.
What a dick!
And so it's like he clearly said it to see if he get a rise out of Komamura, and he's like, oh yeah, it was just,
well, it is the best.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like I tried to get the best out of you. You tried to bait him in like Aizen did to dumbass Hiyori, and it's like
she got glacked.
Yeah, she got.
But see, that's not fair. I don't think it was fair for her to get glacked by fucking Gin. He was just sitting there like, hey, just remember me. I'm a character.
Who was Gin fighting?
Nobody.
No,
Shinji.
Nobody, right?
Yeah,
it was
Shinji, but then
before,
Shinji hopped back, and Aizen walked in, and then.
To be fair, if that happened to Hiyori, Gin, it was fucking sitting on his dick because he could have just glacked every one of the visors real quick.
Well, I would argue that Hiyori was so caught up with Aizen that he didn't see even when last batch of episodes we watched when Shinji tried to attack Aizen, he almost got glacked by Tousen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because he was so focused on Aizen that he about chopped his goddamn head off.
And Shinji should have said, hey, there's another guy.
Yeah.
Please be wary of that.
Yeah, really Shinji's fault for not calling out that Gin's just hanging out over there.
Isn't Gin's it's not the length of his Zanpakuto, it's the speed at which it recoils?
I do think that's
he does
right.
that, and then you find out later on it leaves shards of poison.
Yeah,
no, that's his Bankai.
Yeah, no, but the speed thing.
The speed
The
thing
speed thing is I can release it faster than anyone else because there's other people with longer ones.
Yeah.
But literally, he could have just the visors are all standing over there. Pew, pew, pew.
But I mean, so I would say you could argue that he's still trying to be a good guy, I guess. But it's it obviously doesn't fit with the motive of he literally, and the manga at least, cut Hiyori in half.
Yeah,
so it's
that. He is a good guy right now, right?
The double agent.
Yeah, he's it's kind of like a Snape Dumbledore thing, where it's except Hiyori was annoying and you had to take Hiyori out for the greater good.
Well, because he only did it for Rangiku, right? He did
all
all this
there
for
was
Rangiku?
Something going on.
There was something else. I don't remember what it is, but he does very much love Rangiku.
That has to do with Rangiku because I just don't care.
She's a trash character.
Her personality is not great.
No, her personality is fine. It's just her as a lieutenant.
I don't know what the deal is. They kept trying to make a big deal out of that girl in Tousen's flashbacks, by the way. And I was who the fuck is this girl?
I wanted to know.
And it's they kept trying to kind of only show the top half of her face, and it was well, is that because he's blind? But why show the rest of her body? If he's blind?
And then I forgot. He's oh, her. I don't even know what she looks like. And I was oh, that's right. He's been blind this whole time.
I need to point out too, and I would love somebody to answer this question. Does Tousen steal her Zanpakuto?
That's right. Yeah,
this is more a question for people in the comments.
He was resting it on there, or at least we think he was resting it, but he grabs it and he's
I don't know if he was resting it because he walked up. I never saw him put it there. I don't think they show him put it there, but he basically walks up to and he's grieving about this girl in her open casket, and his sword is there in release form, or I don't know if it's not release, but it's got the circular thing already on it, which is his sword.
Yep.
And it's already in the casket laying next to her, and then he grabs I'll find justice for you.
I'm almost certain he does not join the Soul Reaper fucking academy until after she dies, right?
You're right.
Yes.
Why does he have a sword? You don't get your sword until
he stole it then, right?
He stole it.
Yep.
Oh, what? She's a blind bitch now? And he's just we luckily have the same powers?
How is he able to use her Bankai?
I don't know.
Also, she's a terrible friend because she's oh, this guy's so pretty. I wish you could see it.
She's also a terrible friend because they're obviously special to each other. He's hey, I'm getting married, and I'm gonna. It's you know what I want from you? Stay the same, and I want to come back here and tell you all about my adventure.
What a fucking asshole.
Yeah, that's toxic.
And then they also show that she clearly has either a scar or some sort of disease. I'm gonna assume it's some sort of a disease because it's blue.
Yeah.
Where there's something spreading on her.
And she's just abusing his blindness because she's I'm not ugly.
And they don't ever say anything about it or what it is. It doesn't ever come up. And then the last thing we hear is so first of all, Tousen is trying to get revenge on the Soul Society because he's just dumb. He can't point
spousal abuse. She married a guy. He glacked her because he glacked
someone else. Yeah.
And Tousen wants to kill him. And then did he ever kill that guy?
And so I guess they don't ever say because he was oh, no justice was brought to that guy. And then it's they don't say if he went and glacked him. And then the last bit we see was he was mad at Central 46 over it.
Oh, classic.
Classic. Just blame everything on Central 46.
So maybe when Aizen killed everybody at Central 46, that was for Tousen.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. He's
he was helping out his homie. Yeah. Which you do find out Aizen basically doesn't love any of them in it.
Yeah,
it's so
I didn't
weird.
understand. Did he just Frieza blow him up or?
Oh,
at the end? We're talking about Tousen.
Sorry.
I'm pretty sure. I think it's his it's his holification.
Just back.
I think he
backfire,
just because
right?
he just explodes because it wasn't.
Yeah, it was really weird, but it was very funny.
Because all you see is
no. If he dies, it would be a hole in my heart.
Because it's so serious. It's Shuhei, let me see your face one more time. He's yes, Captain, and then blop.
That's one of those horror film just blood gets shot everywhere. He's a human, and blood went everywhere.
So do you think they were planning to save him, like Komamura and Shuei?
They totally would have saved him. Yeah, they weren't going to kill him. They weren't
interesting.
Yeah,
he got fucking.
I mean, he pretty much was already dying because of Shuei's blade.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Because Aizen totally didn't think about it because he doesn't give a fuck. But Orihime on Tousen, could we?
Yeah,
Could we revert that?
I mean, she can literally do anything.
What do we need?
Do you think we just need a little bit of his blood and be like, right here?
I don't know. I don't know.
Because there is nothing left of him. They show his whole body where it should have been.
I would imagine blood is not enough and it needs to be like some sort of a piece. But yeah, he got completely obliterated. So I think Tousen's done.
All right, we do this until we find our Orihime. Chop off your pinky.
Yeah.
Now, why are we not reviving all the other Spadas? Okay, that's what I'm saying. The bodies are still there for everybody except for Ulquiorra. Sorry, rest in peace.
Rest in peace. He got disintegrated.
She could grab a piece of dust. I think she could have done
from a piece of dust?
No, she's not strong enough yet. Remember, she'll be strong enough in 1,000 year.
Okay, couple of things. One, we see how fast she is with fucking releasing those.
The
immediate fight with Ulquiorra.
Yes.
If she really wanted him to not die, she already knows her fucking power. He starts to fade away. She goes, "I reject."
Yeah,
and goes around him, bubbles him up.
Here's where we're getting to the root of the problem. They gave the most OP power to the worst person to have said power. Some would argue best person to have some power because she doesn't abuse them.
I would say the next word, she's number 2. The next person that should have gotten, the number 1 is Wonder Weiss because he has about 1 less brain cell than her.
We're just gonna. I appreciate the joke.
Yes, thank
but
you.
We're not gonna say Hachi should have gotten those powers because.
He deserves them.
He's the only one who took out a high level
That man's
Espada.
got creation powers.
Yep.
Yes. So wait. They said his powers are similar to hers.
So he actually
very
trained
similar,
her before she
right.
got abducted.
And she still hasn't done anything more powerful than she used to, right?
Nope.
That's
She
why
can
I'm
just make
saying if they had
shields.
given it to someone with a brain, they would really be using that. Like,
Hey, man,
I can fix that really quick. I'll do that on the fly. Boom, boom, boom.
Give her
I
give
have
her a great-
5 spirits.
Yeah. Oh, is it 5?
Yeah,
I thought it was
1 on
3.
each one.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
See, you know what?
With a great body comes a great loss of intelligence.
Melted into here.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I just, Aizen's dumb, right? Like, he shouldn't have gotten rid of her. I think we
No,
talked about
Aizen's
this.
smart. He's like, she can't use her powers. She's not that great. I'm going to manipulate her.
Well, I mean, in a perfect, total hypnosis world, he should have just not left her there at all.
Yeah.
Should have just been a decoy. He said that he took her as a decoy, but then he could just make the decoy a decoy, or make a new decoy that looks like Orihime.
Oh,
with
he
his
got
total
sloppy.
hypnosis.
Yeah.
But that being said, it would not fool Ichigo.
Yeah.
But then that brings into question, what did he see on Hogyoku Hill or whatever the fuck that place is called? Because he got tricked just like everybody else and didn't say anything about it. So,
I would also
there's
say
a lot of iffies.
full hypnosis. He does go on fucking record saying, "I have full control. They can do my bidding." Can't he just do that to her?
Yeah.
He could. You brought up Orihime, Chad, and Uryu as potentials. Orihime should have seen it. If he was going around "Hey, squads, did you want to see my fucking refractometer bullshit? I can do this cool shit with water and mist." Really?
Well, it's so a big part of the Aizen thing. So specifically, let's just talk about Ichigo because the fact that he hasn't, because that's actually relevant. He did that on purpose, is what he ends up saying later. He was like, "Oh yeah, I didn't show it to you on purpose because I just it's good to have the one person." And that comes into play big time in the Yuhu Baha fight.
Oh, very much. Yes.
So that comes in big. So, it's he does plan, but I do think it's one of those powers. It's like the Invincible meme. Have you guys seen the Invincible meme?
I know
all
what
over
you're
Twitter,
talking about, yeah.
where it's got Invincible smashing the ground, and the guy's like, think. It's think. Didn't you think that? And then he lays out an alternate route instead of what they're doing. So people are redrawing that and putting in things like this.
Yeah.
Where you think, guys, and couldn't you have just baited everybody with an illusion or done anything else? It's you have complete hypnosis. The world's your oyster. Where it's there's a million better options than what he did, but obviously the story is what it is.
Here's what it is. This is completely OC, so I don't think anyone can really see
so
it.
OC means original character. Go ahead.
Original content.
Okay.
Okay.
So
this one,
I thought he was gonna give us his OC right now.
So he builds say a tree, and this tree is attached to his sword. It's
Vengeance.
His sword becomes a part of this tree, and it reflects off of the moon, and it causes an infinite.
Okay, so this is the ending of
hypnosis.
Naruto. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. Infinite hypnosis. He could have done something like that. Just get a big ass mirror. Everyone gets to see.
So
his
I
fucking
don't think he ever, and I'm obviously interested to see because we're gonna learn more about his priorities and motivations going forward.
Because he hasn't
later.
talked anything about
No.
this.
No.
And
Not
so
right now.
as from memory, maybe you guys might know, I don't think he's ever talked about wanting to control people's will. Like that's never like
it's never been
motivation
his thing,
for him. Like he doesn't want the Madara or the where he's like, I'm gonna control everybody and put them into whatever. It's like
Dreamland.
Yeah. It's like he's never once mentioned that. And like I do think he wants to better the world, but he's like he doesn't agree with the way it's going now. So he wants to like nudge in the right direction and fix it.
I just don't know what he would have done. Like if he became
I mean, we talked about it last time too. I don't know.
So stupid.
I don't know what he would have done. Maybe there's a novel or something because I feel like every time I bring up something, it's like, oh well, then
someone
one
always
of these
knows
6
yeah,
novels.
Yeah.
Let me say this: somebody could have written a novel, and it could have been Sosuke Aizen while he's just sitting in his chair, like with my eye open.
Where is his sword?
Maybe
during while he's sitting in the chair. Because he has it in the last couple panels.
It could be into the chair.
Secret compartment.
Oh, where that's what's keeping him locked in. He's sitting on it. I see.
Okay, no, that's not what I meant.
This guy.
Oh.
So what if they do a book, like the true story of the 3 little pigs? You know?
Yeah.
You
No,
don't know
I've
that
never
book?
read that, no.
Wow. Unintelligent, this guy.
Okay.
Omaida.
Hey, he defeated Sosuke Aizen.
yes. Good to see you on the Omaida train.
No.
Good to see you. But there's a book called The True Story of 3 Little Pigs, and it's the story as told from the werewolf or like the wolf's perspective, and basically how he talks about how the 3 little pigs were all bullies and he was the victim, and like they picked on him, and it's like so they could do that similar, and at the end reveal where it's like he's like, oh yeah, that's the story you guys saw. Really, I'm already the Soul King. What's up? It's like here's what I'm doing.
This is
because I would love to know what his like exact game plan was. Like, what did he want to do? Like, what
by becoming the Soul King.
We talked about this last time. Like, let's say he clean sweeped. Like, once again, what is he gonna do from there? Like, what?
He's getting a rest on a grateful universe.
He's gonna like ascend into the floaty boy position, and then he's just gonna be permanent like pass through guy.
Yes, he will go become Soul King. He will annihilate the Valley of Screams,
and his butt will get a Twitter account that's pretty fucking funny about.
I forgot about that Twitter account. Yeah. What else happened? So this is very important. This is very important.
Yes.
So I want to go back to the very first fight that we saw is Kenpachi and Byakuya versus Yammy.
How they're manhandling him.
And so Yammy explains, he explains this to Ichigo, that Yammy is more powerful than Grimmjow, Ulquiorra,
fuck off, you
and
cunt. No.
Noatra combined. Yes. And when he's explaining this, they show flashes of Grimmjow, his whole fight. Is it Noitora or Noatra?
I think it's Noitora.
Noitora. They show all of Noitora's fight, and then they show Ulquiorra in both forms. Okay, just want to note that both forms are shown there.
But
that's true.
Obviously, that's
form.
just showing like what's in the anime. But I'm just saying they're showing both forms when they're talking about it. I'm just saying. And he says he is stronger than all of them combined because he's spotted number 0, and he continues to get stronger. So he did say that. Let's just note in his first form with the mini legs. Okay.
Yeah.
And then he gets even stronger when he's fighting Yammy or Byakuya and
for our audio listeners, I have rolled the fuck of my eyes back.
He gets stronger and he goes into another form, which you would say
this Buddha form.
almost
Segunda etapa.
Segunda etapa is what you would say.
Yeah.
Segunda etapa and number 0. Segunda etapa.
He's double 0.
And so he's fighting, Byakuya and Kenpachi this time, while they're also kind of fighting with each other.
Yeah.
So let's just take that in a note, which is absolutely fantastic.
They're not seriously fighting.
And as we know, spoilerino ahead of time, they end up defeating this Yammy. We don't get to see how because they kind of just cut back and he's defeated laying in the sand.
I was kind of upset by that.
So I just want to do some basic math here. 0 Espada, which we'll just, for intents and purposes of having a number, we'll just say number 1 because we're not.
So now Ulquiorra's number 5.
Dog. Yeah, we're not complete degenerates.
And he can start doing his second releases and his Grand Race Arrows now because he's been pushed up.
Yes. So number 1, okay. And we'll just go ahead and divide that by 2 or whatever because 2 people took him on. So let's just say that maybe he's down to like a 3.
I would even allow 1.5 because they're fighting each other the whole time too.
Sure, 1.5.
Yeah.
So you would say Byakuya defeated 1.5 number Espada. Segunda etapa.
Yep.
So I think if we just do the math, a 1.5 Segunda etapa versus a 5 Segunda etapa, I think we have the numbers on who would win in a fight between Byakuya and Ulquiorra. And I'd like to rest my case on that one.
I would like to think that they made Yammy a joke. And
no, definitely
they
not.
Just
definitely
didn't,
not.
No, I would just say that they made numbers up.
Is there any intelligent naysayers out there, Jose?
No, the logic checks out.
Yep, thank you.
The logic checks out.
I mean,
fuck you both.
They
Fuck
put
you
the
both.
nail on the
It
coffin
just
when
does.
they started explaining
the minute
his
he
power
started
strength.
saying that he was stronger than all of them combined, I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. Yeah, I was like, fuck.
Here's what
I gave up. I was just like, yeah,
I would
I can't beat
agree.
him.
Like if he was saying like Grimjow and Noitora, I would fully be okay with that. It's the
But you would
Ulquiorra
imagine, obviously, there's a bit of a fallacy that I've seen because I have like tried to look and see like how strong exactly Ulquiorra really is. Because there's a bit of a fallacy where they was stated that Aizen knows literally everything that ever happens underneath Las Noches. Like he knows literally everything. And then, Ulquiorra tries to go, oh, well, Aizen doesn't know about this. Well, it's like, well, which one is true? Which
if Aizen doesn't know, would you argue that what's his face? Yammy. Oh yeah, that guy named Yammy, the important
well, I'm just saying
guy,
here's the fallacy.
Yammy.
So it's like which one is true?
Yeah.
Okay, so like if we do believe that the Ulquiorra one is true, then we would have to believe that nobody else knew about the second release. But obviously Yammy knows about the first release because they're the closest. So he would at least know what the first release is, which is still pretty powerful, and he's fucking up Ichigo.
I would allow first step and the other two. I would allow that.
But I was still saying that's stronger than second. If you allow first release Ulquiorra plus Grimjow and Noitora, that's stronger than just base second release Ulquiorra on its own.
All right, I'm gonna swing back on your logic earlier. So Yammy.
Hold on, let me finish.
Oh, okay.
So if we go with the other fallacy or the other side of it, where Aizen already knew that, then he placed him appropriately, and then Yammy is stronger than Ulquiorra.
I would allow that.
So I
would allow you to roast me with that one.
I'm just saying that's the whatever side of the coin we're on, and I still think if we take the first release Ulquiorra and we add the other two, okay, go ahead.
Yammy is the Komamura in this situation, and Ulquiorra Segunda Etapa is the Soifon Bankai in this.
Yes.
My homeboy is just fucking launching these lances, and Yami's just like, "Oh, I can't move."
Okay, but I'm not saying.
now
I'm not
placed
comparing. I'm not comparing Ulquiorra versus Yammy. Okay? I am specifically just using the relationship between Yammy and
to win the Byakuya versus Ulquiorra fight. I know what we're doing here.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, because that is a good argument for the fight between Ulquiorra and Yammy. I'm saying that is
he's getting decimated.
Because he would be very, very, very far away, and it was shown that basically, Yammy is very slow and like, but if he hits you, it gonna hurt.
Yeah,
so,
you break.
Yeah,
I think you just
like die. And it's like because he is. But I'm saying Byakuya is very fast and it took down what is Aizen. The person who's supposed to know everything, that's his whole character, should have rightfully placed him as number 0.
I have a hard time because when I think
aren't they
Ichigo as Bankai was keeping up with Byakuya for a little bit, and then he started slowing down because he was getting weaker, and then we have Hollow Form Ichigo who is now faster, stronger, everything, and I doubt Byakuya could keep up with him. Now you get Hollow Form Ichigo getting absolutely fucking decimated and wrecked, like plaything with Segundo Etapa. I don't think Byakuya, even though he can do all the cool shit, can even see Ulquiorra.
Aren't the espadas ranked on destruction, not necessarily power level?
Well, don't do that. The turn. Well, Josh, did you think about that bullshit? Because we just agreed that fucking Ulquiorra would decimate fucking Yammy.
I'm not saying he would. It's obviously, I think Yammy would have an almost impossible time catching Ulquiorra because he could literally fly.
I'm just going to throw a random person. Fucking Xyloparo crushes Yami's fucking insides.
So we talked about that before too, where it's like, because we brought this up last time that I think we were talking about who would be winning the fight of the espadas. Some people's powers are just broken. Like it is what it is. I'm just saying, look, we kind of take like because Byakuya's powers are pretty like base, like like what they do. But the same thing with Ulquiorra's powers. Like that's why it was a good fight against Ichigo because they literally have one power. Yeah, it's like here you go.
They did a good juxtaposition was Rukia is being crushed in hand and does Sokotsui. Yeah, and then Byakuya's
so
like,
good.
Let me just shoot it from like 50 feet back, and I'm like gonna
giant
decimate the whole fucking place.
Ichigo I loved when Rukia did it and Yami was like, oh that hurt. Oh that was weird.
Fuck you.
And then when Byakuya did, he's like, what the fuck?
This one stung.
See, but I would have liked it if like Byakuya did like an incantation, but no, they just flat out
he doesn't even
he's
need
strong.
to. He's just like
saying he's really strong.
Can we just go to the fucking lamp society? I think I'm done with this argument.
Verdict is winner.
Thank you. And
I
he's
would
an
allow a
Ulquiorra
good
simp.
fight.
He's an Ulquiorra simp.
I would allow a good.
Yeah, I do
Yeah,
love
but
Ulquiorra.
remember when he fucking said that Yu Yu Hakusho, it's fucking Yusuke was his
Yusuke's
number
always
one
been my
character,
favorite.
not fucking.
You're right.
Come on, he's gonna say Groomjow's his
I remember
favorite
when
character.
he said he drinks strawberry milkshakes. I've never seen him drink them.
bullshit.
I love them strawberry milkshakes.
And remember when he said he spoke 2 languages?
Two?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Remember he said you spoke like Spanish and something else. It was on one of the
Portuguese or something.
Portuguese.
Yeah, I can understand it. I don't speak it.
And then Sam fucking played the English version.
And I'm like, wait. He's like, wait, guys, don't
Don't get it.
All right, Lamb Society.
Lamb Society.
Funny episode.
I would say it was a very good filler.
What was
it?
it?
It was the 10th anniversary special.
We get to see the Great Admiral Seaweed or
I-
whatever
I-
his name was.
that was
I
great.
absolutely hated that it was where it was like placed when it was.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
fucking sucked.
Do you think they thought about that? Like,
Now, and
No.
here's my other issue with that episode. So they basically try to do like the fun thing where they're like, "Oh, we're gonna go through all the first arc.
Yeah.
Like, isn't that funny?" And
And
it's like
we'll
we'll do
make
like
fun of
little changes to it. I feel like obviously it was a more serious version of it. The third movie was that. It was like,
Yeah.
we're gonna
Yeah.
redo the first arc again.
So
like,
let's-
here's all these cool little fights.
But we don't
And I
know when
think
the
they
third
did-
movie
I think
came out.
they did it before this.
Before this, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's why we watched it. And they did it better. So I have to say they did it better.
Yeah.
But I did enjoy
This
it.
was
It
just
was
a
fun.
I
fun
enjoyed it
little
as well.
thing. Yeah.
I wasn't mad about it. Like I
This
wasn't
is
like,
exactly what we want. Is like
There-
Elseworld stories.
There was a lot of good, funny, like
Comedic
quips,
stuff.
like, "Oh, we're not thieves, we're burglars,"
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
thing. Like it was like, oh,
and
thanks.
it's different. So there is a I think it's called the Desert Society in Bleach Brave Souls,
Yeah,
where it has
it
the
is
same
Desert.
sort of theme,
Oh,
like
gotcha.
the
But
Arabian
they're-
Nights sort of thing.
But it's the
they
Land
look
Society.
they look dope as fuck in
it's,
that.
Yeah.
it's a different setup, but they still have like Ichigo's a merchant in that one, and like Cone does come out of the lamp as the genie
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Oh,
So
that's
I
cool.
love that the lamp is Cone though, and when
Yeah.
Orihime's rubbing it, he's just like all red, and then
Oh, yeah.
Chad rubs. He's like, "Oh God!"
But Orihime is a babe in that outfit.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I honestly, I was like, wow.
Fucking Ichigo or Chigo in
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
fucking shitting on their outfits, and I'm like, homie, I don't think you know what
I'm
you're talking
okay
about.
with that, dude. You ever see Orihime wear her other stuff?
Oof.
it was a funny episode.
It was good.
I mean, I don't have much to say on it, but it's like I did think that was a good filler episode.
Yeah.
I thought it was very good.
and I
thing-
did like Captain Seaweed's appearance. Like I just don't.
Yeah.
I was so
Ambassador Seaweed. Yeah,
I
yeah,
was
there we
so ajarred from that.
I was just like, what?
What?
I just love when he shows up in Ruki is like,
Oh yeah.
it's like just all like happy. Oh my god.
Oh my God, brother, you've never looked better.
Like
Yeah.
I wish that had happened in the original series.
Yeah.
Like that would have been funny too.
So good.
I also like the Phoenix just going.
It's
just
oh,
pecking her
no, I'm
face,
dying,
That's what that's what
Yeah.
like the filler should really be about. It's
Yeah.
just like a lot of fun in it.
I
Like,
agree with that.
a day in the life of a Soul Reaper.
Just not to Sam's point, not at the fucking crucial time.
Yeah.
This is when the episode started getting good. Like there was the first episode we
Like
watched
let
was
it be
almost
known,
filler.
we played Bleach Brave Souls probably the first episode, and then it was like, fuck, these are getting kind of good
Yeah.
episodes.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
like,
you
these are,
guys
like-
did stop.
Yeah, we
like
had to
cream
stop,
of the
yeah.
crop Aizen episodes right here, baby. I'm gonna turn off the phone. So
The first half of the Tousen fight versus Komamura was fire. Like it was
Yeah.
straight fucking
Yep.
fire. They even got because the Yammy fight with
I like that
Yeah.
fight too. I
They,
like that fight.
the second half where he was about to turn,
Yeah.
the animation turned up, and then they
Yeah,
also
it was
turned the
great.
animation up for
Yeah.
Tousen because I think it happened at the same time. They're just like, let's get that fluid motion.
Oh, I
in there.
like
It
that
looked
bit
great.
where Shuei was gonna pull the sides towards him and about to slice him. And
That
he's
was
just like,
really cool. That
Thanks
was
for
really
bringing
cool.
that up because I had a gripe with how fast
Oh
Tousen
my
moved
God.
there because he should not have been
Yeah, I
able to
do
dodge
agree that was
I-
stupid. I
was-
specifically remember that move, but I also find it stupid that they made a point out of showing Tousen cut the chain
Yeah.
off of,
And then he had it.
and then he had it again. He was like. It was
I-
like, oh, I'm about to. He chokes him with it, and it's like pulls him
Yeah.
down, and it's like, bitch, I cut that. It's like you
So-
shouldn't have that, unless we're just establishing that people are unreleasing and re-releasing really quickly.
That would be the
Just
smartest
fix
thing
and
that.
I'm
ever.
prepared.
Yeah, like unless that's just allowed,
I would say I feel like that
which
should-
is not allowed by the way, because they have to go to the Zero Squad to fix their Zanpakuto and the 1,000 Blood Work.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, everyone's getting there. Fucking Mayuri doesn't.
Well, Mayuri's special.
Mayuri's me. Mayuri's
Yeah.
Mayuri is Mayuri.
Oh my God! Speaking of that, whenever he's telling Nemo to do stuff, she's just carrying stuff in the background.
Yeah,
She's like,
dude.
"Yeah, I got this."
That was good comedy.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that too. And I like how when
Babe.
he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna fucking torture Ichigo as soon as he
Yeah.
gets back," and Nemo's like, "I'll start thinking about it now." It's like,
I'll start writing things down, Bob.
I
All
started-
of these episodes, it's like going to be a weird claim, but I enjoyed these. What we watched 7 episodes,
episodes,
a
yeah.
lot. Like
I think
a
they were better
lot.
than the
agree.
last 30.
Yeah, like the animation was really good. It's like the bands was really good. We're obviously getting to the climax of things where like stuff's happening because Aizen is officially moved in.
Oh, we're gonna see Kisuke and Yoroichi drop in soon.
It's gonna be really good. It's gonna be really, really good.
Isn't that weird that these fights, like, which we would have probably, if we talked about it in like nostalgia factor, would have probably said like, oh, Tousen versus Komamura and all this. Like, I know we remember the Yammy fight being cool, but we never got to see it. Like, would you imagine like, oh, the Espada fights were trash compared to those?
I'm surprised at how much I wouldn't imagine that. No, but I'm surprised how much of the Yammy fight we get to see. I don't remember.
I don't remember seeing too much. I think it's because in the manga it was like really quick, and then the next panel was like, wait, we defeated.
Like I remember,
this guy.
it just comes back and like they're walking away like cool guys. Like we fucking did it.
Fist bump.
I liked my Yuri that whole time too.
Yeah, he was funny as fuck.
He was just like, whoever dies, I get this. I get the fucking experiment. But if he
the
keeps
wagon,
getting bigger,
though, he's just got the giant
so
wagon.
Good.
So you bring that up. We talked about the whole like people being in the background, but you don't see them at all in other fights.
Oh, you're talking about the arms like dangling and stuff?
No, that was kind of gross. But they had the two big pillars, which were the ones that they flew up next to. Those don't exist anywhere in the Yammy fight.
Ichigo pulled him away, too.
It was really bad, though, because Mayuri, like, their scene made a point to remind us all they're right next to the twin pillars, and then they immediately cut to Yammy holding fucking, I think it was either Rukia or it was, he was fighting against Kenpachi. There's no twin pillars, and at no point during the Mayuri part did
at that point,
see
Ichigo pull him away.
Yammy.
Well, if
he's big enough.
If it was Rukia, that's a good point. If it was Kenpachi, like Jose said, he did get pulled away from it.
That's right.
But that being said, it's a moot point because so Ichigo pulls away Yammy because he's like, oh, I don't want to get everybody else caught in it. But then they move everybody over there. Like
Isane brings them to him.
It's like, what are you guys doing? It's like, fucking go heal over there.
I want to see, like, I don't want to ask for this because they would have to fuck the entire continuation of Bleach, but I would like to see more realistic shit in Bleach where it's like, when Yammy does a Sero and all the sand's going up everywhere and Isane's just got a cube, like, I want them to be buried.
It would be cool.
Yeah.
It would be really cool. And I do got to give credit to Isane because Ichigo fucking shit on her.
Yeah.
She was very confident. Like, she was in the barrier with Rukia, like, trying to heal
after the explosion wave?
And Rukia was like, oh, are they going to be okay? She's like, yes. And he's like, oh, you're going to be like, yes, I'll do this.
Yeah,
it's like, and she, like, not a hesitation at all. She's like, I fucking got this. It's
that's
like,
why she becomes captain.
I would. Oh, does she become captain?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep.
That's good for her.
She gets a nasty haircut. Fucking
He hates her haircut.
Oh, my God.
Pides would not agree with you.
Uggo haircut.
Doesn't she just get short hair?
Yeah, but it's Uggo. You guys see it. It's
I gotta
gross.
look it up. Yeah, I feel like I looked it up and I didn't hate it.
Yeah, you didn't
but
look
I
at the
can't
right
remember.
image, clearly.
Yeah. I won't do it on the podcast. I'll come back after.
Okay. Do we want to talk? Do we miss anything else? So we did the Tousen fight. Shinji goes Shikai and gets absolutely demolished.
I think it's. He was just reversing his sense of winning, and
sure,
yeah,
that's a good one. I show you my opposite winning. Yeah, it's like cool.
When I die, you die.
What else? I think that's it. I think we obviously Lamp Society. Ichigo shows up at the very end. That's where he breaks through the sky.
Did they ever explain why his mask never comes back? Like, he does it and it pops back off immediately?
I think they talk about it again coming up.
He kind of mentioned when he used it during the Yammy fight that it felt really heavy and weird, and then when he tried to pull it back out, it was like, nah.
I think it's just because he won't accept his hollow powers again.
So, but it's not going to be a worry. He's going to blow off his powers, and then we don't have to worry about it. So, good episodes. Great episodes this week. Looking forward to the next ones. I get the more of a good batch that we watch, the more worried I get that we're about to enter fillers again. It's like a dread in the back of my mind that it's like, I'm surprised we got fucking 7 good episodes. And it's like, ooh, I bet there's fillers right around the corner because it's fucking an anime in the 2000s. Like,
I got stressed. I didn't feel that stress at all. Like, I'm living in La La Land, and then the Lamp Society came in and punched me in the dick, and I was like, they
that
could
was
do
literally
this?
the second episode, I think. Yeah.
And it was such a weird, odd placing, too. It wasn't like the end of a fight or anything. Like, if they had done it right after the Espada loss, I would have been like, okay, dirty bastards.
Do you think when it originally aired, it was a complete, like, that took up that time slot, or it was a double time slot?
Definitely did. They definitely didn't just give that out for free. It wasn't like here, we're gonna put this on a special time slot. You're also getting an episode this week. They're probably like, nah,
we're milking this cow.
No fucking way. With the amount of fillers they're putting in that shit, no way did they double down.
The talk we had, I don't know if it was last podcast or 2 podcasts, when we talked about like Jujutsu Kaisen and just getting to the fucking point.
Yeah.
Every time I'm watching episodes with you guys and we come up here, like, I almost forget everything we watched, and then you guys bring up the 3 things that happened. I'm like, wow, we watched fucking 3 hours of shit.
It's a lot. Yeah. It's a lot of, like we've talked about before, it's a lot of philosophical back and forth in Bleach. So it's like when you really distill it, like, for people like us who is like, yo, it's like, this is a really cool thing to happen. Yo, this is really cool.
Yeah.
It's like, we're not talking about the philosophical of what does justice mean?
Yeah,
and what,
exactly.
Oh, that was trash.
It's like, what path of justice are you following? Like, if you were to give up that justice and, stay with the people that you wanted revenge on, is that still justice anymore? That's
It felt like Baskin Robbins 31 Flavors of Justice. Like, everyone had their own brand of fucking justice.
Yeah.
It's like, we got a new one this month. It's like, cool, Tousen, thanks.
Yeah, so it's like we don't really go deep on the philosophical stuff, but it's like that is there, and it's like that's so Bleach, like so Bleach.
Yeah, very much. It's always a thing they've always done is just kind of bring in some kind of a agenda almost.
But I gotta say, these episodes, it just reminds me why I love Bleach. It's like,
same.
These were good, but in the back of my mind, I still think it was like, God, they could have gotten to the point way quicker.
I remember what I loved
half
about
these characters are useless.
What I loved about Bleach is they build characters though. It's not just you're not just interested in Ichigo. It's like everyone has a really nice backstory. Then it connects back to Tousen and like his past with Shuhei and Komamura.
And they did do a good job of like not so like they made a lot of the Tousen fight like Komamura, and then they finished off night with like, oh, Shuhei's still here. Here you go. Like, it's like those are two key players in like his backstory, and obviously Komamura much more than that because like obviously like they're.
They built a friendship,
but
stuff,
I would argue we still have Chad and Renji as characters, and he was saying they build them up. And I think until 1,000-year Blood War arc, I don't think either of them.
That's still part of the story.
Yeah,
that's still part of the story. I don't think Chad gets much of a showing.
No,
he just gets.
Remember, he's like, "This is where I'm staying, Ichigo."
Yeah,
that's the
I know
only
I can't
scene
go
I
further.
remember seeing from 1,000-year Blood War arc with Chad in it. It's like we have to do this or something like that. I'm like, that's cool, Chad. That's Chad knows his place. He's a soldier. He's just gonna fucking fight Menos or whatever the fuck he's got to do until then.
Yeah, but I do, you're allowed to have your feelings, but I feel like these episodes really were like, man, I love Bleach. Like these are really good episodes.
It reignites the feeling again. I agree.
Cool. Well, we asked a lot of questions to you guys during the episode, so of course let us know what you guys thought as always, and be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and you can always message us there or tweet at us and let us know what you thought there as well. And then be sure to subscribe and like the video. That way you know when things are coming out. We release these every Friday, so in case you aren't followed, click the bell. Love that. And then you can of course find this podcast for an audio listener on anything and give us a good rating. Tell your friends. Bleach Boys, shout out. What's up? Whatever you want to do. And we will see you guys next time. Have a good week. Bye, everybody.